Hello folks, welcome to the section Fundamentals of Shell. In this section, you learn about Introduction to Streams, Redirection, Introduction to Variables. What are streams? Linux Unix operating systems offer three kinds of streams. Streams are channels of communication between the input command that you type from the keyboard and its resulting outputs that you see on your display monitor. The outputs are of two types, standard and error outputs. The operating system assigns each stream a file descriptor that you see in the following table. Note, a file descriptor is a handle or a number that is assigned by the operating system. As we see, there are three kinds of streams: standard input, standard output, standard error. The file descriptor associated with standard input is 0, with standard output it is 1, and with standard error it is 2. While the symbol for standard input is less than sign, for standard output is greater than sign, and for standard error it is 2 and greater than sign. The device associated with standard input is the keyboard. The device associated with the standard output is a monitor or a file, and the device associated with the standard error is also the monitor or a file. Redirection. This topic is associated with streams. Redirection allows you to change the standard pre-assigned device associated with standard input and standard output. For example, you can redirect the content of a file in standard input stream to a command, or instead of displaying standard output on your monitor, you can redirect the output of a command to a file. For instance, who, which is a Linux command to show you the number of users logged in your system, its output can be redirected to a file called userlist.txt or any file name of your choice. You can also redirect standard input to a command. This is best illustrated by using the Linux's sort command. Consider this file containing the results of a class test. You see Jerry has got 40, Mary 78, Peter 89, and so on. If you redirect the content of this file called class test as an input stream to sort, the command will sort the result in the alphabetical order. As you see, the content of the file class test has been fed as an input to the sort command, and sort has sorted the results in the alphabetical order, as you see Anne, Bob, Earl, Jeff, Jerry. A pictorial representation of standard input and output stream of this example is as follows. As you can see, this is the standard input, which has the content of the file called class.test has been fed to the sort command, the Linux command, and the output that you see is actually the alphabetically sorted content of the class test file. We are still in the redirection topic. Please note that while standard error is supported in the bash shell, it is not supported in the C shell. Using the standard error symbol in the C shell, 2 greater than sign results in an error. So if you're using it here on the C shell, you will get this kind of errors. Let's move over to the next topic, variables. A variable is a location in the memory of your system that stores or holds values. There are two parts of a variable, its name and its value. There are two kinds of variables, user and system or predefined variables. The user variables are defined by you. Here we are trying to define a variable in the bash shell that is applicable to the current shell using the set command. This set command accepts spaces between the assignment operator equal to. So we are setting the variable called hi to a value called hello. And to check the value of the variable hi, we use the echo command. What does it mean that it only applies to the current shell? Let's try the same example on the C shell. So we define a variable called hi, assign it a value called hello. We check the value of the hi variable using the echo command and we get the hello value. To open another shell, we just type CSH, which means that it opens a child shell. And then when we check the value of the hi variable, we see that we get an undefined variable message. So you can infer that the variable hi is not inherited when another instance of the C shell is opened. Thus, it is called a local variable. If you want to have another instance of the shell inherit the value of a variable, then you should define the variable using the setenv command. This is applicable only for the C shell. That variable is then called an environmental global variable. Unlike set command, setenv does not use the equal to operator to assign a value. A space will do. For example, here you define a variable, an environmental variable called hey, and you assign it a value called hello, and then you check the value of the hey variable and you see that you get an output hello. Then let us open another child shell using the CSH command. As you can see, the child shell has inherited the value of the from the parent shell.